Finally this week, the hotel business. It's fast-paced, it's competitive, and it lives and dies by one thing, its reputation. It's also cyclical, from the seasons to economic upturns and downturns. So how do you make it all come together to create the perfect stay, if such a thing even exists? I discussed that and many other things recently with the CEO and president of Shangri-La Hotels, Greg Dogan. Shangri-La, a chain with its roots firmly in Asia, but growing internationally.
If you look at the way that the Middle East is going, Doha has become a destination in itself. You got the World Cup coming here in 2022, which is obviously huge, but it's going to be another hub within the Middle East. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Riyadh, Jeddah, and Doha. They're the big ones, and I think it's important to be here.
We talk about right here, because as I said in this interview, Marriott Hotel there, W Hotel there, Four Seasons in Sheraton and Hilton and Movenpick behind me. The concentration of luxury hotels and five-star hotels is enormous here. So why would I come to Shangri-La over any of these others?
To me, first of all, the more the merrier. I think it's important to create a destination with more hotels. In terms of Shangri-La, we believe that we have our own identity, being an Asian brand, and bring a different offering to the whole market. And with our Asian hospitality and what we bring here, I think it's a little bit different to all those other brands.
Maybe actually just explain to our viewers where Shangri-La sits, because I've always felt of it as a business hotel, but then look at where we're sitting here in the middle of a city at what feels like a resort. Where are you on the scale? How do you define yourself?
I think in this day and age you cannot categorize it in any of those categories. I think the world has moved on so much that you have to be able to offer your offering to any market. Now, to say that we're ultra luxury or ultra budget, the market has changed to the mid-market. The world has moved on, and we've moved with that. So,
can you define that mid-market for me? What do you?
I don't think you can categorize it. I really don't think you can categorize it. I think as long as you're best in your local market and that you're available to all those people. And what we try to do is wherever we go into any location, we try to become part of the community. And we've done so here in a major way. We don't create a cookie cutter operation in terms of looks, feels and everything else. We've adapted to what the environment and what the hotel and what the city requires.
Let's talk about the hotel business then. We are quite possibly on the cusp of another economic downturn. It feels that way. And I would think that a luxury such as travel and hotels might start to go out the window a little bit then. What do you do in times of downturn? Because unfortunately we've all had experience of that in the last 5 to 8 years.
If you look at the cycles of business throughout since the Asian crisis, everywhere you go there's going to be something. Whether it's a calamity, a typhoon, a crisis, everybody's talking about different types of negativity. And I strongly believe in each of those markets, in each of wherever you are in the world, you need to adapt very, very quickly. And the key to any of the local management successes would be to adapt and get in different business at different markets, at different opportunities. And it's no different from here. And that's what I've encouraged all our general managers to do, is to adapt to what the market is requiring. I believe that the mid-market range throughout the world is increasing, so I see that as a huge potential. Okay, where one market may slow down, you need to adapt. But I don't see anything different that's happening right now.
So is downturn actually an opportunity?
I believe it is a major opportunity. You just have to look differently, and with the internet and the way that bookings are going on right now, you have a different millennial mindset where people are coming in and buying in, with a shorter lead-in time, and I think those are the opportunities that we have.
I don't quite follow what you mean there. You're saying so because people are more mobile, they're traveling, they can book quickly.
It's exactly that. People can book more quickly. Lead-in time for a booking used to be 2-3 months, where people would be booking holidays, and now market is showing us that people will book in short time, so as long as you give them what they need.
Okay. So you're not saying you don't feel that there's I guess I'm just trying to get a business person's perspective of these times of downturn. You've told me how you react, but I want to know how difficult or otherwise it is actually to operate in them, because the bottom line, it's your margins, it's your profits. Are there difficult times for you?
They're challenging. But wherever there's a challenge, there's an opportunity. It's easy to look at the negative and to turn the tap off. And I've always tried to get our general managers to be much more proactive and look at the upside of it. So it's not easy, but I don't see it as all doom and gloom at this stage.
Okay, then. Tell me about your different markets around the world. You said you're an Asian brand, but you are pretty much everywhere as well. What's been the strongest performing for you?
We've seen a lot of outbound Chinese business that's gone into all the different hotels throughout the world. We see that as a major growth. The American market is still very, very strong. So outbound American into different markets. We see a lot of Middle East business going into Southeast Asia. So those are the three big ones right now that we see.
It's a good business to be in, isn't it?
The hospitality business.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking the way you described that, there's always going to be, whether there's a downturn in one part of the world or there's strength in the other part, it will always keep moving.
That's correct.
And you'll be fine somewhere, won't you?
That's right.
Yeah. What about the Middle East then? The importance of this market, seeing as we are here and you're opening up here.
Middle East, with what's happening in Dubai, with what's happening here, we're opening our 95th hotel here. We see it as a great opportunity. I see the Middle East as literally the center of where the world is moving to. I think with the great airlines that are in this region, it's going to go from strength to strength. And I'm very bullish and very positive about this region.
It's just funny when you mentioned airlines, I just thought about the price of oil. I was thinking price of oil can affect almost any business. The fact that the airlines can, move people around cheaper and all that, that's good for the hotel business as well, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
We feel that way. I see that. In fact, only this morning I got a good friend of mine asked me, that prices of coming out to this part of the world from England are cheap, and which hotel would I recommend in this region? So,
well, it's a simple answer for you, isn't it?
Doha.